Today is the release of D-BT10 Dragon Masquerade. I've been looking forward to this set, not just for the mask cards, but because it upgrades a lot of the decks that I do really love to play here. And here I got a box to open here on camera. I expected it to be one I got from my local card shop because I always want to support my locals because they can't have a Vanguard scene if no one supports it. But I did get my case in early today, so I decided to film this one a bit sooner before I head to the card shop to pick up my box. So this one is from the case, from 50 Cards, not sponsored, but I do really enjoy getting stuff from his store. Great shipping. I found it to be some of the best prices online. But with that out of the way, let's crack into this. Or I guess before cracking into this, let's take a look at this box. It looks gorgeous. Leonorn and Jeweled Mask on the front with Aurora and Michiru as well. Nice to see a bit different than the normal, like, Nirvana. I mean, we haven't really been seeing too much of Nirvana on the covers of these too late, but it's nice to see that they didn't just go immediately right back to that. But of course, the back of the box, you have the other two mask units, the Biko masks as well as the Zorga mask, one I'm really excited for. I just love that small detail of him holding the mask instead of wearing it. It just parallels perfectly with what they're doing with Masanori in the anime. And the kind of this yellow-purple color scheme looks awesome here as well. You got the Vanguard symbol, Dragon Masquerade right on the side here. But in this set, 15 different types of triple rares, 21 different types of double rares, 20 types of rares, and 40 types of commons, with the parallels being 61 unique ones, 5 secret rares, 15 FFRs, and 41 frame rares. 6 EX types, I think those are the VTuber promo cards that are in place of the Michiru stuff, and 1 token card, I believe that is the Dragon Tree marker. So for just standard breakdown, 3 triple rares for each nation, 4 double rares for each nation plus 1 the mask, and then 5 rares for each nation, or not, I keep saying 4, I'm flipping the numbers. And then because there's 4 commons, that should be 8 commons per nation as well. But with that being said, let's get cracking into this here. So as I'm getting the plastic off here, new setup, set up my phone to be able to stream straight to OBS. I think it looks great. Of course, you kind of have to see the stand here, but it's just kind of the consequence of the kind of setup I have. But I think it looks pretty good here. The only thing I have to get used to is that iPhone 14 autofocus does not like to cooperate with third-party things, which I don't think is a bad thing per se, because I've had issues with autofocus in the past. It's going to be more so, do I remember to actually focus it in? So hopefully I'll do that. So let's see what I got in here. Of course, get the promo box top as well. A little advertisement here. That's pretty standard for all of them. And then the promos here. A Marisma. Don't remember if this already had a promo, but getting the full art one's really cool to see. So let's see what else is in here. Every box comes with it, and I believe they are still doing the buy 8 packs. You get an additional promo pack as well in stores. I could be wrong about that. It's kind of been a bit muddy since they announced it for D-BT11 and 12 as well. They weren't clear what they're exactly doing for those, so I think they're doing both, but we'll see. So plenty of ways to get these. Marisma obviously isn't really played in Orphis, but still pretty cool looking card. Let's get this to focus in. It will take, there we go. Yeah, pretty cool card here. I love the floor. I love how this looks. Ran it for a bit, but obviously there are just cards that outclass it now. One particularly in this set. And the Olween for, not Bob Sakura, for Hexorb. Hexorb, of course, getting some support in here. But again, I think I've seen this card played somewhat. It's definitely not bad, but the Soul Blast cost, I think, really conflicts with Aquamarine overall. So, I think all in all, just this card, really the whole promo pack in general, as much I do actually have both decks, so that's cool I got both of them, but I think overall these promo cards are just a bit out of date. All right, I kept looking off to the side, but I decided to throw these on a better monitor so it looks I can look more easily at the webcam. But anyway, enough of that, just kind of technical stuff out of the way. We've got 16 packs to crack into. Let me get these set aside and let's see what we'll pull. Will I have some first box luck in getting maybe an FFR? We'll see. If I pull the secret out right away, then that would be also epic. I think for pulls that I'm looking forward for here, I mean, obviously, I can easily get everything. I get a playset of all the base rarity stuff, but in terms of like high rarity stuff, if I can get a Zorga FFR, I'll be very, very happy here. So let's see. Here, I'll hold it a bit closer so we can show it off a bit more. There we go. The a crossover dress common here, the Drillzer for Verena. I think it's got better cards. Still cool. That's a cool one, Brawlfield Hydra. Well, when placed on regular circle from hand, if you have 3 or more Dragon Tree markers, so just some Dark Stace Dragon Tree support. A lot of these decks got it. Counter boss 1, choose a grade 3 or less card from your soul, call it to rearguard circle. That's pretty cool. That's actually a really good effect. It's just a matter of getting cards into soul, which Dragon Tree does not inherently do too well. We've got, ooh, here's a good common, wow, that's a different. Stigurna was what I saw it as. This is Sturgna. Really good card, just gets 2 cards in the bind zone, guaranteed for the Gandiva deck. So really powerful, grade 3 there. We've got the Orderly Academic Ordelio. Let's see, when your other grade 1 or less unit is placed on regular circle from deck, you may put this unit into your soul. If you put this unit into your soul, put that unit into soul. If you do, this unit gets 5k. It's a neat effect, but it's not inherently good. Serve 9G. During your turn, if your order zone has a grade 3 or greater set order, this unit gets 5k. Okay, some more 5k support just for general good backing. One of the maids here, Pootsen Swestern? Yeah, Pootsen Swestern Weeple. So just 3 maids here. I think 2 of them. Oh, this is the rare one. This unit gets all the following according to the number of dispatch 3 Sisters of Cleaning in your order zone. 1 or more, during your turn, this unit gets 5k. 2 or more, this unit cannot be chosen by your opponent's card effects. 3 or more, if this unit is in your back row, center column, all your back row units get 5k. Interesting. I forget what the order does and the other 2 do, but some of the stuff in here is good, like the be able to distribute power is really good, and then the cannot be chosen by your card effects good. So let's see. Nope, oh wait, this is a double rare. Okay. So the first double rare is the Desire Devil, Fujo. I do play Greedon here. Really excited for the Greedon Mask, but that's not until next set. And this card, I think, is more relevant for next set than it is for the current Greedon build. Pretty much when it's put into soul, you can retire one of your opponent's rear guards. That's not too bad, but deck space in Greedon is very tight, so I don't know if that's really necessary. And when your Vanguard with Greedon's card name attacks, you can bind this unit and get the Battle Door effect until the end of that battle. So a more costless version, but more restricted version of the grade 1 of the ride line, the Gomon. Not too bad. It does take away from soul. So overall, I think the more Desire Devil focused build, Greedon Mask build will, and like this card a bit better than the other Greedon Mask. I think this one doesn't really support the high roll play that Greedon Mask does. But let me get a sleeve here because I do want to make sure that I'm protecting all my higher rarity stuff. And this double rare is definitely that. So good start. I think that's a good start. Double rare for the pack. Just means we got plenty of other fun stuff to open here. So Dark Stace there. Always like to pre-organize them, hence why they're organized in this way. So let's get into pack 2 here. Hopefully, actually, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. Some packs do have double rares, but I noticed for a bit, a lot of them did not. We'll see. Starting off great here, Cardinal Noid Grunder. Obviously, I'm going to have plenty of this card, but this is an amazing card for Orfist. I don't know why this was not the double rare. Being able to check top 7 to mill 2 set or world orders is phenomenal, and then being able to retire itself, making room for the Shadow Armory tokens your Orfist calls, but still adding a card back to hand, being a world order is a phenomenal way to make sure you can set up. And honestly, at worst, it's just looping back a card to discard with Orfist. So that is phenomenal. Then we get the Steam Hunter, yeah, that is a Q. Zuckakip. Wow, that's a mouthful. Interesting. A Biko Mask support card, even though it's definitely Gear Chronicle themed. Your Vanguard is the Biko Masks. This unit gets 5,000 power plus 5,000, shield plus 5,000. So not too bad there. It's a grade 2, so it can intercept. You got Thirst Ray Dragon. This is a cool looking card. Really like the kind of thunder theme there. During your turn, when this unit is on regular start, Dragon Tree mark against 10,000. So a big beer for Dragon Tree. A lot of support there. Here's the starter for Gandiva, the Buckish. Just standard star, you really can run whatever there. Ooh, this is kind of poetic. Can I get a Gandiva in this pack? This would be cool. Scarlet Flame Blow Soldier, Aguired. Not the best at pronouncing these. I did see some people run the Balasaga ride line, but this one's not too bad either. If your opponent's 1 or less rear guards, you can ride up to the grade 2 without having to discard. But if your opponent's 2 or more, you get to call it out. So regardless, you're plussing in some way. I do think you'd prefer just to be able to ride up for free, but still not bad to plus it for some early aggression. Some agreed on support card, Cranium Burner. Don't think it's too relevant. The 2k is nice, so it can hit magic numbers still, despite it being at 10k. And the retired countercharge isn't terrible, but I think you'd rather just throw your Rockagurs in the front row. Maybe this will be run actually because we don't have the promo yet. That's also re-standard. But once you get the promo, like that, you just want the Rocker and the promo out. Into, okay, not the Gandiva, but it is the Mirrors Verena. Really great upgrade for the crossover dress deck here. Finally giving access to counter charge, but it's better than that. It's also a flexible draw, and you can get it up to twice as this card's on the board, so easy restand target. Just really, I feel like this card, I tested, really makes the crossover dress deck feel like it can actually function. Not a great deck, don't get me wrong, it's definitely more of a fun deck, but the fact that it can just function is a huge step up to previous iterations of the deck here. So let's see what we get going to a double rare into a triple rare. Let's see if these packs continue. We have to hit a slow point at some point, but let's see. Stogren, the grade 2 of the Solryren ride line, really disappointing in hindsight. Bit sad because it looked cool at first, but with everything else that came out in the set. Here's another one. The Putsen Schwestern Moppy. Once you use place in regular circle, count +1, look at the top 5 cards of your deck. You can choose up to one of the orders or the brush. So this would be the one I have not opened. So the third, I guess, made here. Reveal it, put into your hand, and shuffle your deck. Pretty good there. Nice little kind of common and rare package for the deck overall. So I think that's really neat. Intrigued Academic, I think we already saw this one. When this uses space racer deck gain 10k, maybe not, but just a 10k if you call it from deck, not too bad. Here we go. Putsen's Western Brush, the other one here. Another common, when it's placed on rearguard circle, look at that, it's got the same effect. Instead of searching this card, it searches out the, was it the Moppy here? If I read it correctly. Weeple, it actually searches out the Weeple. So Moppy searches out Brush, Brush searches out Weeple. Okay. Both of them cost a counterblast, but you know you are plussing one here if you can find it. And top 5, I think the top 5 is really where it's going to kind of hurt, because top 5, if it's top 7, I think these cards would have a lot more potential. But here's the grade 1 for the Solryren Ryrine, the, was it Eleron? Then we get into the Gandiva order, not run because Best Harvest is just better, but counterblast to just -1 to just nuke a column isn't too bad as long as your opponent has a column. And here's just a double rare pack. Academic of Verification Pyrrhic. When this normal unit is revealed by an ability of your Vanguard with Solryren's card name, until end turn this unit gets boost in 5k. Okay. I just realized that the light might have been hitting my face awkwardly through the blinds, and it might have looked straight. So I closed the blinds just so it doesn't look weird. But getting on to the next pack here, let's see what else we get. Haven't seen any FRs or above. We get the grade 1 for Solryren again. We've got Compass Needle Spinning. When you play an order with Alchemagic, discard a card from your hand, choose a grade 1 or less card from your drop, call it to rearguard circle with the same column as this unit. So not a plus, but it does tutor. Choose grade 1 or less card from your drop. Okay, not too bad here. Zorga specific, I think Zorga definitely has better cards than that, but that's definitely not a bad one if anything else ever gets Alchemagic. I mean, I think we have something right now that technically does. But let's see, Eulogistic Dragon. During your turn, if your Vanguard's grade is greater than your opponent's Vanguard, this unit gets 10k. This is definitely Bastion support. Pretty cool. Bastion still does have better cards, but not bad if you're just trying to get started out. We've got Threat Fusion Negator. That's a name. Looks like the leader card of old. When this unit is placed on Guardian Circle, if your Orzone has a grade 3 or greater set order, this gets 10k shield. That's not too bad. 15k shield. Can intercept with it. I realize I put the Solryren cards on the Brandgate stuff. The maids kind of look like they should be Keter Sanctuary. Here's the starter for Solryren, Strawn, into, ooh, a triple rare, so this must be a frame rare behind it. And this is a good one, Sickle Blade of Inquest Habitable Zone, one of the new cycle cards. So whenever you discard it for Ride deck, you can Soul Blast 1, put to the bottom of the deck to draw a card. Great way to turn what's normally a minus into a cycle, hence the name cycle cards. And its secondary effect is what's really strong. If you Persona Road when placed on rearguard circle, you can counterblast 1, search your deck for up to 1 set order, reveal it, put your hand, and shuffle your deck. Until the end of turn, you play up to a total of 2 orders, and the next set order you play, you get to play without paying its cost. This has a ton of really cool applications. One of the first ones I thought of was being able to now run the Gradius Gradile in your Brandgate decks and not have to choose between it and a set order. That's highly relevant. I know other decks have found success with it with playing double set orders. I think Orphis might want to, well, Orphis is a weird one. It would love to use this card, but it can't secure pieces, I think, consistently enough for that. But I know like Evan now and next set like to use it with the order that gives boost. Be able to play that for free since it normally costs counterblast. You get to draw a card on top of it and just throw this as a 10k booster behind and be able to set up an additional order in that. So that's really neat. Then into, yep, frame rare here. Champion of Loss. When this unit is placed in rearguard circle by an order's card ability, you may draw 2 if you drew 2 cards, choose 2 cards from your hand, and discard them. If this card came out a lot sooner, maybe like set 2 or 3, this would be very interesting. Just a very powerful, just cycle card that feels your drop. But I think right now we just have better ways to set up the drop, and I do think stuff like Zorga that likes to call this one doesn't necessarily need it. It's still a really cool hand filter card, but I think that you, instead of using this card to like set up and find different pieces, you'd rather just already have those pieces and play them outright. And I think that's going to be the biggest limitation of this card. Let me just get some sleeves for these ones, but still really cool. I mean, this one's honestly an awesome pack for this one. The cycle card's amazing. This one also just looks gorgeous. I love the frame rare with all the colors, the spirit on it. Frankly, I just love the colors with this card overall. So really neat pack there for artwork wise, and of course just a great card. But enough filling space when I get this next pack up. Let's get into this one. See what else we find. Should have another framer in here. Balmy Violinist. Love this one for Thegria. Back rear guard circle, when your other unit stands by your card's ability, you can put this card into your soul, choose one of your units, or choose one of the units that stood, and it gets 5k power. I love this in Thegria, just because you're always restanding once you get to your Persona Ride turns, and because you want to move the Grade 1 Maple behind your Vanguard and your rear guards, this card can just make space for it without having to call over something and lose out on card advantage. And normally that wouldn't matter, but also just to be able to set the soul, since you want to soul blast the Grade 1 Maple to be able to use this effect to recall itself. A lot of times you don't have a Grade 1 in soul to be able to use the Grade 2 Maples, and this can really help. And if you can get a PG in soul and this in soul, that's an easy way to add it back. It just has a ton of just innate synergy with Thegria, so I love this card. Then another Keter one, Incisive Crow. When this unit boosts, you can discard a card from your hand, choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets 2k until end of that battle for every 2 grades of that unit. Oh, that unit and this unit get 2k. It's a little power-up card, not too shabby. Don't think it'll be too relevant. Sea Demon Satiation. When you play a grade 3 or greater normal order, Soul Blast 1, this unit gets 10k. Okay, that's all right for a common. Then we've got Inciting Monster Trafficon. When this unit boosts, discard a card from your hand, choose one of your Vanguards, and this unit gets 2k for every until the end of the battle for every 2 grades of that unit. Slight power boost. Okay, I don't know. For a discard, I don't know about that one. Grade 1, the Shron for Soul Ryren. One of the new orders, I'm like seeing them print more generic orders for just all the nations. Soul Blast 1, look at the top 2 cards of your deck, choose one grade 3 or less card from among them, call it to rearguard circle, put the rest on the top of your deck. So a decent deck stacking card that does replace itself, just top 2, Like, what happens if you find 2 triggers? I guess you can stack them both, but you're going -1 and Soul Blast 1 just to confirm the top 2 cards pretty much. So I don't know about that one. Here we go, Depth Ill Wealth, another great support that I will need for Zorga. Being able to search out the set up Dragon Tree marker and search out the Mask of Hydrogum is great. Well, I say I need it for Zorga. Actually, I don't. I will need it if I'm using Keel Severing, because I need the Dragon Tree marker. Wait, I'm keep saying this. No, you got another Dragon Tree marker that helps loop back orders, so I don't even necessarily need this. And it's not like I really need to set mask. Like, I can get a mask in the drop zone real easily with the deck. So probably more relevant for Leonore masks and any future Stoicheia masks, but still a neat one to get because I do want to have it for my collection if I choose to run maybe it plus still in Zorga, just to be able to search out an order to be able to Alchemy Magic. I don't think it's too bad for that reason, so I'll have to see once I start building the deck. But getting into the next pack here, the Compass Needle Spinner again. We already saw that one. We already seen this one. Then, yep, probably start seeing some duplicates here. Tends to happen at some point in the box that I've noticed. Here's a new one, Sylvan Horn Beast Cornmus. If this unit is on a rearguard, sorry, the Dragon Tree marker, when this unit intercepts, this unit gets 5k until end of that battle, and 5k power. Okay, that makes sense why they would phrase that way, since it needs to be on a rearguard or the Dragon Tree marker. So interested as a Sylvan Horn Beast. Is this projecting that we're getting a Magnolia Masques at some point? I do like the colors on this one as well. Speaking of the orders, we've got Cage of Furious Star. Soul Bolt charge 1, choose a grade 3 or less card from your soul, call it to rearguard circle, and it gets 5k till end of turn. Really like this card. I think this is actually a pretty powerful card. It's comparable to Spiritual Body Condensation in Stoicheia, though it's limited to the grade 3 turn. I don't know if there's anything that really wants to run it, but I do think this is actually a phenomenal option overall. And then another double rare, one I was wanting for Hexa Orb. Replenishment Angel, showed off originally as a Youth Bird card, but way better as a Hexa Orb card. Once you boost a rear guard, if you have a grade 3 or greater, stand Vanguard. Counterblast 1, look at the top 2 cards of your deck, choose up to 2 cards from among them, put them on the top of your deck in any order and put the rest on the bottom of your deck. So you just pretty much get to choose where you want to put the top 2 cards. And that's obviously really powerful for Hexa Orb, since I realize I was grabbing for the wrong sleeve stack. I should not. But this one's really powerful for Hexa Orb because you'll pretty much, where I want to put it is behind one of the other double rares, the Effulgent Wizard, which gets to check top card, and if your Vanguard stand, put into Soul. So if you don't find a trigger on it, you can then use the Replenishment Angel to then check top 2 to try to find stack more triggers. So great card for that. Happy to see that one over. Well, again, it's weird saying like happy to see it because I'm going to get it anyway. Like I pretty much guaranteed it by getting a case, but I like having cards that I can actually talk about that I'm going to use in these pack openings. So let's see the Moppy here. For like putting the correct stack. Ooh, Screw Bullet Dragon. Really awesome looking tier dragon here. I love the tier dragons. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, the 4th battle of the turn or more, this unit gets 5,000 battle till end of that battle. That's all right. Pretty standard here. We've already seen this one as well. Ooh, here's another new one. Citrusin. When this unit is placed in rear guard circle, if you have a grade 0 rear guard, soul charge 1, choose one of your grade 0 rear guards, and it gets 5k until end of turn. So some token support relevant for a lot of decks. I know Stoic in general just loves using the tokens. It's an easy way to spit out cards. And quickly, they multiply as well, and it's not like they're real cards per se, so it's not as bad if they get retired as well. Cool support card there. Ooh, a Dragon Tree marker, like to see that. Already got, I think at most I'll need 2, but it's nice to also have some extra ones for people who maybe didn't buy much of the last set and don't want to pay for them. Blue Dester Rec Gwenheader. Oh, that's why I'm pronouncing it wrong. Joenner. Yeah, we'll go with that one. During your turn, if you have Vanguard with Avant-Garde in its card name, this unit gets 5k power, and if a strategy card was put from your Ore Zone into your Soul this turn, it gets another 5k. So 20k attacker, not too shabby there. I think there are probably some better cards that Avant-Garde needs more, but honestly, a 20k attacker at a rare slot is not bad at all. And the Rugent here. Yep, Rugent. Another great support card that makes Gandiva playable right out of the box. On place, if you have a Gandiva, counterblast 1, choose one of your opponent's rear guards, retire it. And if you did not retire, draw a card and choose a card from your bind zone and bind it, or from your drop zone and bind it face down. Just pretty much guaranteeing that you're getting a bind, and if either minusing your opponent 1 or plussing 1 yourself. And if under Best Harvest, it would be a +1 anyway. So that's just a phenomenal rare. I could honestly talk about all the Gandiva support cards. It got a phenomenal slew of cards out of this set. Would love to. I wish Soul Ryron kind of got the same treatment, but alas, it did not. Deathly Silence Huntsman Lepardia. Don't think we've seen this one either. When this unit boosts, if this unit is on a rear guard or the Dragon Tree marker, choose one of your front row rear guards and it gets power plus 5,000 until end of turn. This would be relevant, I think, for... Actually, this has some use cases in Leonore Masques, because it just says when it boosts, you can give the unit in front of it 5k, so you're still kind of giving it a boost. There are better things to do with Leonore, but not too shabby here if you want to try to build it out of the box. Spry Cactus. When this unit is placed in regular star Dragon Tree marker, this unit gets boost and can intercept from the back row. So just more Dragon Tree support in these nations that have the mask cards. We've already seen the Trafficon. Here's one we haven't seen. Flight Robo Aerial Haley. That's... I don't know why they spelled it that way. Okay. When your opponent's rear guard is placed by your prison's ability, you may return this unit to your hand. Oh, okay. Don't see how that's going to be relevant, but neat effect. Got the Sea Demon again. Got a rare here for Stoicheia, Surging Sharp Fangs. This unit cannot be ridden. When this unit is placed on regular start from hand, retire this unit, and it is a 15k grade 1. So it's kind of like the Kusi, but instead it just needs to be called from anywhere but hand, and it still has that shield value, so not too bad. I think we're past the point of just like big 15k bodies as well, but it's at least interesting to have. And here's the order for the maids. Dispatch 3 Sisters of Cleaning. And its Ore Zone effect is during your turn, all your front row units get 2k. Okay, so this deck just kind of gets big numbers by playing set orders. It's interesting. I don't know how good it will be without maybe some additional synergies, but at least it's a splashable package for certain decks to give it something. I don't think that's too bad at all. So halfway through the box with that pack, moving into the final 8. Starting off, we've definitely covered the 9G. Got Sistrogan. Actually, I don't think I actually covered what this does. When Rotopomp Isoul Ryrun, it gets to call itself in the grade 1 out from Soul, pretty much just how the Turin Dyna does for the Unica deck. And when your normal unit is revealed by a card's ability, if you have a Vanguard Soul Ryan's card name and this card's on rearguard circle, this unit gets at the ability at the end of battle that this unit attacked, retire to countercharge 1. And that ability gets that ability till end of turn. Just clean up the spot because Soul Ryan does call a card to create a 4th attack. Got the Moppy again. Got this guy again. Then the brush again. So both of them. Mask of Hydreigon. Nice. Yes, I definitely want a playset of these. Probably will at most run 2 of them just because the searchers can find them, but I do want to keep a playset just in case it ever becomes optimal to play one. Definitely going to be a very expensive card out of this set since this just enables all the mask cards, and there are 4 decks from this set that need it, so there's going to be another one coming out in set 11 and at least one more in set 12, likely more. So good card here. Into, honestly, perfect because I'm playing Jejeweled Masques. Mask of Hydreigon into Jejeweled Masques here. Jejeweled Masques, a really powerful card, has a really strong pop-off, does cost a counterblast now, but it retires 2 rear guards on top of drawing the power to 1, and it's got an ability to remove the original Jejeweled to be able to put 2 cards from Drop the Soul to be able to set up the Soul Blast 4 more cards with different grades condition while still gaining the critical. So there's some give and take with the original Jejeweled, but it just pops off so much stronger now, despite it now costing more and having a bit more stipulations. And honestly, this is the kind of deck where I'd probably want to run maybe more than 2 masks, just because it's actually very beneficial to go into the original Jejeweled and then use masks yet again to proc the persona. But I guess I could always just Soul Blast this and loop it, so I don't necessarily need more masks. It's just a matter of finding it. So good card combo here. Let me get these sleeved. So honestly, if I was just buying a box for my collection, or not buying for my collection, but just buying a box and wanting to order singles later, I'd be very happy with this box. I think the only card I've gotten that isn't, Masques, Jejeweled, Habitable Zone, Mirror's Arena, this is a phenomenal pack. The Mirror's Arena is like the only card that I would probably I don't have the deck for, but like Greedon I play, the Brankgate generic is just good in general because I play Brankgate, Jejeweled, I play Greedon, I play Hex Orb, and I play Sorga for the Depth of Wealth. But still have another frame rare to find. Let's see what we got. So that was the 3rd triple rare. So I should have at least 1, possibly 2 more triple rares, I believe. This pack does not want to open. And I should have, what was that? I think that was 1, 2, 3, 4 double rares. So I should still have at least 1 more double rare as well. So we still got some good stuff with the rest of this box. Wow, this pack is not wanting to open here. Oh, this one pains me. Let me skip till I get this open. Got him out, but that pack really caused me pain here. So let's see. I just realized it's showing up in my webcam as well. So let me hold it a bit down lower. The Ordealio here, when your other grade 1. Oh, yeah, we read this one. This one is interesting. Saw the Ariel, Strogan. Talked about you. Let's move a bit quicker through these. All right, here we go. Speaking of Greedon, Gutarin here. When this unit is put into rear guard circle from soul by the ability of your Greedon in its card name, choose one of your Vanguards and you can give it power plus 15,000 till end of turn, but if you do, it gets drive -1. I don't think that's worth it. I get the idea, like especially on your first grade 3 turn, but you just want the card advantage to keep up the pressure. And Champion of Lost, we saw the FR of this one. The rare version of this also looks quite nice. So just a double rare pack, kind of be expected considering I still have quite a few packs left to go, but I've seen a lot of higher rarity stuff as well. So continue on to the next pack here. Another Balmy Violinist. Love to see that. Incisive Crow. Got the Screw Bullet Dragon. The Citrus thingy. Grunder, excuse me. Love to see that. Any comments? Want to see 2 of that. Wilderness Dragon here. Haven't seen this rare. When this unit is placed on rear guard circle, if you have 3 or more Dragon Tree markers on your rear guard circle, Soul Blast 1, choose one of your opponent's rear guards in the same column as this unit and retire it. That's actually a pretty nice effect. A really cheap retire. I think the biggest problem is just Soul, because you only really have the Griffo Seed in Soul. You need to find other ways to get Soul, which Dragon Empire doesn't have the best options. And here we got Magic of Water Droplets. What is that? Watatur? That's a weird name. It's weirdly spelled, but okay. When this unit is placed on Grand Circle, if you have a Sorceress Vanguard, you can maybe look at the top card of your deck and put it on the top or bottom of your deck in any order. This is a grade 2. I think I'd be more interested because you could intercept with it. But overall, still an interesting card. Just reminds me of some kind of G-Guardian effects we used to get back in the day. But obviously those were good for a different reason. While this one, I don't know if since it doesn't really have much offensive capabilities, I don't know if you really want to run it. I don't think we've seen the was it Dippanel? Yeah, it's now Dippanel. Haven't seen this card yet. When Greedon rides, or not Greedon, Grandiva rides over it, you may choose one of your Vanguards until end of turn. The cost of that unit's original act ability is reduced by Counterblast 1. So you get a free use off of Grandiva, which is really nice because it is a bit of a Counterblast heavy deck. Then into the Drills. Yeah, there you go, Drills. Brawlfield Hydra, Stigurna. Seeing a lot of copies that we saw from the first pack as well. The Ordealio. Into Rousing Rasp. This one's a really cool order. A grade 0 for a counter boss 1. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Choose up to 1 card with grade greater than or equal to your Vanguard from among them. Reveal it, put it into your hand, and discard the rest. So a really strong mill card. Just kind of burn through your deck, but also adding a card. So obviously the later in the game it goes, the less good it gets because you would have to start adding grade 3s to hand. So you can search out your Persona rides, which isn't too bad, but at the cost of probably discarding a lot of triggers. So that's the real question. Is that worth it or not? But still really cool artwork overall. Into, oh, this box is amazing. Like, the only thing that could top this is if I get an FFR or honestly like a secret rare. Spiral QD Angel. I know people think that, I've seen people rate this card a bit lower than the other ones, and I can understand why, but I still think this is a phenomenal card. A lot of decks in Keter Sanctuary, I think, can make good use of this card. It's the cycler just like the habitable zone, and its additional effect is that when it's placed on rearguard circle, if you Persona Road, card boss 1, look at the top 2 cards of your deck, choose 1 card from among them, put it into your hand, and put the rest on the top or bottom of your deck. So more deck stacking. Now, yeah, you have to add a card to hand, so if it's 2 triggers, unfortunately, you can't just stack both of them, but I like this for just so many decks. Played this originally in Tagria. It was great to just get some early plussing that Tagria struggles with, and in the late game, mid to late game, since you're constantly Persona writing this card's always live and could get some stacking to try to sway triggers to close to the game a bit sooner. It's great in Hex Orb as well, just again for that early plussing since it's a bit of a slower deck, and I've seen people definitely test out in Youthburg as well. And those are just the decks I'm familiar with. Bastion probably won't run it because it's not a grade 3, but even more Stoicheia decks that come out in the future probably might like it. I don't know about maybe MLB will like it as well. PBO as well. There's a ton of options. I just think it's a generically good card overall. So that might be the final triple rare, but all in all, like, this phenomenal. We'll go over at the end. But here, Spooky Chirping. When this unit boosts, if this unit on rearguard circle Dragon Tree marker, Soul Charge when it gets 5k. I like this. Soul Charge when Dark States is crucial, especially when you're starting off with 2 less soul than most decks. The Fugigator. I think that's how it's pronounced. Fugigator. Here's a new one. Ascertain Dragon. When this unit's on a rearguard circle with the Dragon Tree marker, this unit gets boost in 5k. So just some big beaters to kind of round off the Dragon Tree stuff. I definitely think it makes the deck better, but not necessarily playable, unfortunately. Spry Cactus, and honestly, all the Masques just have better cards to synergize with it. Sage Elixir Eleuron. I don't think I went over this effect either. What is its effect again? I actually don't remember. When this unit is rode upon by the grade 2, you declare either a normal unit or a trigger unit and reveal the top card of your deck. If the revealed card type you declare is what you declared, you may put it into your hand. If you did not put a card into your hand, that revealed card, put that revealed card into your soul or on top of your deck. So for some deck stacking and possibly a lucky, draw 1. I think most of the time you just declare normal unit because that's what it's most probably going to be at that stage when you ride over this one. Let's see. When this unit is placed on rearguard circle, if you have a Vanguard with Soul Rider in his card name, choose 1 normal unit from your hand, reveal it, and if you revealed a card, draw a card and put that revealed card on top of your deck, pretty much guaranteeing that you can call it. So I don't think there's any way you can really stack the deck when you would ride over this card. I think it's more just stacking the deck for other skills. It's interesting. I will say it's interesting. Don't know how relevant it is. I'm guessing not too relevant since the deck hasn't been really showing up much. But here's another new common, or this is a rare, excuse me. Thunderous Fist Dragon, Giram Dragon. When this unit is placed on rearguard circle, if you have 3 or more Dragon Tree markers, Counter Blast 1, Soul Blast 1 to draw a card. Bit expensive, honestly. Draw a card's good, but it's expensive. Then Blaze Maiden Hafine cannot be written. This is another grade 1 15k. Still has shield value. When this unit is placed on rearguard circle, if your opponent's rearguard was not retired this turn, retire this unit. So just a big booster. Might be nice in Eugene. I think Gandiva's got better cards in this one. And oh, that was the last one from this pack. So 3 packs left. I think there's another double rare, unless that took up a slot, because I have a double rare. No, there should be at least one more because I don't have one for Brant Gate and Dragon Empire yet. I don't think there's any more triple rares, but I am still waiting on another frame rare, or I guess higher. So the Eulogistic Dragon, the Compass Needle Spinning, one of the Maids, the Brush. Should I put in the right stack here? Yeah, that's the right stack. Volheimer Dragon. Did we cover this one? During your turn, this unit gets 2k for each of your Dragon Tree markers on your rear guard circles. That's actually pretty good. Get a full board. It's at 23k attacker. I like that. We did Color Cover You. Here's a new one, Truncate Breath Dragon. I don't think we covered this one. I think I opened a playset and sneak preview out of with like 12 packs I think I got. When this unit is placed on a regular circle, look at the top card of your deck and put it on the top or bottom of your deck. If you put it on the bottom of your deck, look at the top card of your deck. So there's a great way to stack the deck, but, oh, a little lag there. But again, I don't know too much about if this one's going to be too useful. It's a really neat effect, but on an on place that doesn't do much else. I don't know. I feel like Hexorb has way better cards to stack the deck, but still a really neat card overall, might come in handy. And a double rare. All right, Brandgate here. I love the artwork of this one. This is a cool card. Solide Sternmer? Yeah, Sternmer. Once per turn, when a set order is played from hand into your order zone, this unit gets 5k power until end of turn. You may look at the top 5 cards of your deck. If you do, choose up to one set order from among them. The cards you looked, that's phrased a bit interestingly. So was it? Choose up to one set order from the cards that you looked from, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle your deck. So this one's kind of adjacent to the Techian, but instead of it triggering on discard, it can trigger when you play one and gains 5k. I do like the extra 5k. I definitely think that makes it way more relevant. And overall, I think it's a really nice card. I definitely think it has a chance to be played. Don't know what I might play it in. Vanguard, maybe. I kind of have to think about it a bit more, but I definitely see this seeing play in the future. It's another good way to search out orders. And there's just a ton of ways to search out orders now, which I really like, so you can curate the best option for whatever deck you're running. Normally you think, oh, they're overlapping, but I actually like the variety there because not all deck wants the same kind of stipulation. So, Ascertain Dragon, we've already covered that one. Just covered the Volheim Dragon. We've got the Balsen here. Another, oh, I haven't seen this one for Gandiva. When you're Vanguard with Gandiva attacks with this card's in the back row, you can make, if you have 3 or more bound cards, bind this unit to counter charge 1. So a great way to get to the 5th card in bind zone for your Gandiva to get a crit, and recovering some counterblast is great in a deck that's very counterblast heavy. Another new one here, Generous Evil Swordsman Zelios. When this unit is placed on a rear guard circle with a Dragon Tree marker, this unit gets, when this unit intercepts, this unit gets 5k until end of battle and 5k. So it's similar to the Sylvanhorn Beast, or it's identical to the Sylvanhorn Beast, but for Dark States. Okay. Then we've got Diablo's Girl Heidi, another new one here we haven't seen. When this unit boosts, if you're in Final Rush, this unit gets 5k until end of that battle. Or end of turn. Oh, end of turn. Okay. So this one will stack, meaning first attack is just plus 5k, second attack after you stand with your Bruce. Assuming, well, it can be with either Bruce, so whether it's in the front row, or it has to boost, never mind. So this would just be with the new Viamont's Bruce. It will gain another 5k, so it's an 18k booster on the second attack. That's pretty cool. Then, ooh, so we do have another double rare here, into the frame rare. At the end of battle, or I should say the name here, the Bermaya, Crimson Scale Sword Maestro, Bernaya. At the end of battle, this unit boosted. If any player's rear guard is retired this turn, bind this unit face down and draw a card. That's pretty cool. I've seen this card not be run too much just because Gandiva, I think, has an issue with deck out. So they kind of keep off this card, but some decks still run it. It's a nice way to get an extra bind. Then finally, ooh, the Grailumir, excuse me. That's actually a pretty good one of a double rare. That's very relevant for the Verena stuff. It really helps you more consistently find your crossover dress pieces. One to put under your as original dress for your the new Mirrors Verena. This is the Prayer Dragon that goes with it for a counterblast, but also some nice plussing here. So when this becomes original dress, Soul Blast 1, look at the top 7 cards of your deck, choose 2 cards with Verena in its card name from among them, reveal them, choose 1 to put into your hand, and put the rest into your drop zone. Drop zone? It's Vanguard, right? It's just this drop. Yeah, I'm confusing games here. Really, really good card, and you can choose not to put into drop as well. So you pretty much, if you need to, you can set up cards in drop zone. If you don't have to. Really great flexible card here. So again, just this is an amazing box. So final pack. Let me wrap this up here because I do have some place to go. So let's see. Griffort's Ketos. If your Vanguard has all Magician's card name, retire this unit, choose up 2 critical triggers from your bind zone and put them into your soul. Just to make sure you can have more power-ups, but more critical triggers to then Soul Blast to then trigger the Unica's skill. But all in all, you have to go -1 for it. Then you have Steam Performer Do. That's weird. When this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle, choose 1 of your Vanguards, and this unit gets 2k until end turn for every 2 grades of that unit. Seeing a couple of those, doesn't scale the best. Steam Launcher, wait. It's placed on your Vanguard, choose 1 of your Vanguards, and this unit gets 2k until end for every 2 grades. Oh, that's Griffagira support. That's actually pretty good. That's 10k with Griffagira. So I take that back. That is pretty strong. Steam Launcher Yasma, when your Jeweled Masques is placed on Vanguard Circle, put this unit to soul to draw a card. So a cycle card, that's actually not too bad. Bit situational, but not terrible. Strenuous Bomber Dragon, once you boost, discard card for your hand, choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets 2k until end of battle for every 2 grades of that unit. For discard cost, for Griffgear though. Okay, so ending it off with the Elite Miko VTuber Sakura Miko. So this would be the grade 2 Michu card equivalent. So if you haven't seen this card, it literally says that it's counted as that card. So you can play it in lyrical. I mean, this is literally a lyrical card. Hololive as the race, that might be relevant. With glitter, when this unit is placed by riding from the grade 1 Michu, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose up to one Nokno in its card name, or Cannonball card from among them, reveal it, put into your hand, and shuffle your deck. So let's see, what are we ending? I think 2 cards left in the deck, or in this stack. So there's just 2 rares. Well, obviously 1 rare. Again, this one's the 15k grade 1, but it's stipulation for it to stick on the board. Not even just stick on the board, just a continuous effect. If you have not soul blasted or more cards at the same time for a cost of your card's ability this turn, it cannot attack or boost. So it can still exist, just can't attack or boost. That's not too bad, just means you have to keep doing it over and over again, but ideally, if you're playing a deck that runs this card, you're doing that anyway. Into just a rare. So let me get this sleeved, and then we'll go over this final Stoicheia card. I just grabbed the sleeve on a whim, and I feel like it's too appropriate for the Hololive cards. So the final card here, Sylvan Horn Beast Labart. When it's used, place in Rearguard Circle. If you have 3 or more Dragon Tree markers, counterblast 1, soul blast 1 to draw a card. And that's pretty expensive for a draw card, but artwork looks sick. So kind of wrapping up the box here, I did get all but one of the rares. That's been pretty standard. Usually you're missing 1 rare because you get a frame rare of a rare. Of a rare, so it kind of takes that slot. But for the higher rarity stuff, for the triple rares, got a Mirror's Verena, Jeweled Masques, the Habitable Zone, Spiral Cutie Angel, so 2 of the cycle cards. That's really good. For the rare double rares, we got the Bernaya for Gandiva, Fujo for Greedon, probably the worst pull of the high rarity stuff, but still I'm happy to see it. Solitude Sturmer, the Replenishment Angel, the Depth of Wealth, and the Mask of Hydrogum, so a 6 double rare pack. Then for the frame rares, we got this one of the double rare, the Grey Lumiere, a great card to get. And then for just the rare Champion of Loss, a really pretty card, so not too mad about that one either. And then of course one of the Hololive cards. Not sure how much these are going for, but I think, well, it'll be interesting to see, is it 1 per box or not? I'll have to see once I open the rest of the case. But overall, I think this was a cracked box. The triple rares, I think, are all winners. The 2 non-cycle cards are great, and I think the cycle cards are going to be pretty good cards to get from the set, because everyone will want probably a play set of them most likely. The rares I don't think were too bad either. Bernaya, I mean, there's a better one for here. I think this one's the worst one. So the double rares, actually don't remember too much if there's anything much better than here, but I'm very happy personally with these. I feel like it was a good pull. And honestly, I can't be mad at the Mask. This is probably going to be like a $20 card. Again, good frame rare, that's definitely a pull price, and I'm curious to see how much the pull rates are, because if it's not 1 per box, even better on this one. But I want to hear from you all. What are you excited for from Dragon Masquerade? This is a really hype set, and I love to hear all the different decks that everyone is wanting to build, and maybe a little reason on why. But paired with this box opening, I'll be uploading from here on out just some deck profiles and gameplay on the individual Mask decks. I want to make a goal to try out each and every one of them. At this time, I have Leonore Masks recorded, as well as the the Biko Mask. That one's actually scheduled for upload. So if you're interested in seeing that kind of content and gameplay, please consider subscribing and turn on the notification bell so you're notified when I do upload those videos. But with that being said, though, look forward to more content coming out real soon.